I don't really know what to say whilst I'm just sat by myself and I've got no viewers. My name's Lauren, because this will be recorded. Let's see what happens. As it happens, we are having some technical difficulties. Thankfully, I have some coffee. Coffee makes everything better than my Buffy mug. Yes, advertising Buffy and McFly today. Not just my book. Ooh, apparently all these books as well. Hey. Okay, Holly is here, and it's telling me no viewers to invite yet, so this might be the issue that Holly was having as well. Okay. Right, let me turn that off, turn it back on. Oh, what is Facebook Live, honestly? It's telling me there are no viewers, even though I can see 2 of you. Oh dear. This is going really well, guys. I hope you're loving this. Ooh. So you're telling me there are 3 people here, but I can't invite anybody because there are no viewers. You're lying to me. Wait, press that. Oh, I don't want to filter. Oh, I can invite Charmaine and that's it. Apparently she's my only viewer. That can't be true. Just comment to say you're here, please, just so I know. It's dreadful. Hiya, Charmaine. Yeah, I know you're here. It's letting me invite you to the chat. Could play a game really, can't I? It's letting me put a filter on, but it's not letting me invite someone. Oh, Rhiannon, I can see Rhiannon as well. Ooh. I can see my mother. Oh. I really don't know what's happening. I don't understand Facebook Live, to be honest. Have you got any questions to ask me while I wait for Facebook to do what it wants to do and invite Holly? I can invite Charmaine or I can invite Rhiannon. Maybe it depends on the profile type. I don't know. I'm obviously friends with my mum, so I should be able to. I can invite Amy as well now. This is going really well. Apparently there are only 3 people, even though there are 6 people. This is awkward, isn't it? Oh, look at an emoji. Flying, yeah. It did get long, yeah. It's very long. Lockdown happened and I couldn't get my hair cut. So yeah, I'm Lauren. I'm from Sheffield. I'm almost 29. And I am an author now. If you didn't know, that's my book. The one on the front. There are many books there, I realise. This is awkward. Oh, I'll just check my message. Yeah, it says 6 on mine too, but it's only letting me add either Charmaine, Amy or Rhiannon, and I don't think any of them want to be on live, to be honest. Maybe it's dependent on the privacy of the profile. Maybe it doesn't want me to add a page. I don't know. This is annoying. I'm not drunk, Rhiannon. It's not the same. I won't make you sing McFly to me this time. Well, they are here today. So, if you haven't read my book already, it's sort of like The Hunger Games or The Testing, which are young adult. but I decided I want to spice it up a little bit, so I've made one for people in their 20s. Adelaide Taylor is very close to my heart. I love her dearly, and she's in my head talking to me all the time. It's very annoying. I still can't invite Holly. So it just feels a little bit like I'm talking to myself at the moment. Ooh. Don't like it. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to... What gave me the idea to write the book? It's been in my head for quite a while now. Whilst I was doing my dissertation for my undergraduate degree at Sheffield Hallam, I started writing Light Worlds, which is a virtual reality novel. So the trials in that were originally in that, but then I decided to scrap that idea, sort of, from when it came to my master's degree, and I wanted to do something a little bit closer to now, but I really wanted the trials because I like the idea of trials, like the Hunger Games, the testing. I'm trying to think of other books, all the other books that I like have gone out of my mind all of a sudden. Friend of Glass, they've all got different trials in them. So I wanted to add that in, but I wanted something a little bit older than young adult, even though I love young adult, but I didn't want anything too literary or anything too adult. So Adelaide's 23, there's a bit of spice, there's a bit of violence, which is fun. Amy has asked how the second book is coming along. It's coming. it's at the moment I've just started replotting it because I wasn't happy with the direction I was going in for that. I know what I need to happen at the end, and I know what's going to happen at the beginning of book 3 and where book 3 is going. So it's just been a case of replotting, and now I've started writing it again. So I've got about 5 chapters so far, which is good. The really first draft. My writing group has read a few of them, and I've got some fun notes from them. But it's coming. I'm going to get it all together this weekend. I'm going to reprint the plot off. I'm going to rejig the character profiles. I'm going to figure out where the character of Amy is going to come in because she won my naming competition. So I'm going to introduce an Amy. I don't know if she's going to be a villain or a good guy. Who knows? I don't want to spoil anything if everybody hasn't read book 1. I know some of you have. I know Holly has, obviously. She edited it and she also proofread it, so she's really got in depth with it. Oh, apparently Rhiannon's mum is watching. How exciting. What does my writing process look like? Chaotic. Actually, it's not chaotic that bad. I plot the entire book, and then I will handwrite the plot for each chapter. I'll write down the rough draft of the chapter. I am a linear writer. I have to write from beginning to end. I can't do the different chapters, which a lot of my friends do. They just write what comes to them, and I can't do that. I try to write in the day as much as possible, but sometimes I will wake up in the middle. I won't wake up because I won't have gone to sleep. In the middle of the night, I will have just got an idea, and I'll have to run to my computer, make a coffee. And then I can't go to sleep unless I've written that specific scene. So there's a scene between Adelaide and Isaac next to a river. That was written at about 2 a.m, which was really fun. So yeah, so it feels chaotic when I'm doing it, but it's actually not, I don't think. Rhiannon has asked, are your characters based on real people? I think Adelaide she's got some of my personality, but I think that's, most writers do that. You sort of have a self-insert. She's like a skinny version of me. I've got people who've got different names, so like Charmaine, she's one of my best friends, but Charmaine in the book is completely different to my friend Charmaine. I was about to spoil the ending then, I'm not going to do that. Isaac Webb, my mum actually asked me this earlier, his looks are based on Dougie from McFly. The sandy hair and the blue eyes. I've made his eyes a bit brighter than Dougie's. Oh god, if he ever sees this now. Terrible. And then I've got people like Brett, who is based on I don't want to say right wing because I don't really want to offend anyone, although, I just did. Is based on that like really judgmental sort of man that you'd meet in the south, I guess. I don't really meet them in Sheffield that often. I don't really go out in Sheffield. I don't go outside. I think that's it for people based on other people. Yeah. My mum has asked, do I do charts? No, I don't do charts. They would not make sense to me. Not in my brain. I build my characters using character profiles that I find online, and then I make Excel spreadsheets. Which, if you ever make spreadsheets, they're really fun. I love them. Charmaine has asked me what inspires me to write. Like, my imagination, I guess. I don't think, once I discovered that I needed to write, I don't think I've been able to stop since. I get writer's block, and sometimes I need to go outside in nature or go to the beach or something and sit with the sea. And then that really helps and that inspires me. And I've written scenes whilst out by the sea. So there's a scene that I originally wrote for Light World, and I've put little bits in this book, but I will bring that scene in book 2. And I wrote that at Whitby while I sat on the beach. It's just notes and stuff, and that was really nice because, with the cliffs behind me, the sea air, the donkeys, which I hate. I don't hate donkeys, I hate the riding of the donkeys. This is going really well. So yeah, everything really inspires me to write. There's so much stuff in this book that's come from inspiration in my real life as well. There's a set of sofas in the first chapter that we used to have back in my childhood. We don't have them anymore. We have nicer sofas now, and they weren't as bad as that. I wrote them. I've got some. Oh, how did you know self-publishing was right for you? I didn't. I queried a few agents, and I got rejections. I don't mind getting rejections. That's fine. It made me feel like a real writer. But as I was doing that process, it just didn't. I had like a gut feeling it just wasn't right for me at the time. Self-publishing just popped up for me. Because I know Holly, and I know I've interacted with Lindsay Pogue, who's another self-published writer. And to be honest, if I hadn't found her books, I wouldn't have even thought about self-publishing in the first place. I wouldn't have known it was a viable option. But I've seen their success and how they've had more control over what they're doing, and I thought, do you know what? I think that's right for me. I think that's what I need to do. I still can't invite Holly. I did have quite some questions for Holly as well, because she is my copy editor and proofreader, but she's also a fellow author, and her book is really good. I just moved my rug and I've sat on my rug. She wrote The House on the Lake, which is really good. I did the beta reading for that. If you are into like little horror, gothic house sort of stuff. Does anybody else have any questions? I've got some on Instagram. If not, then thank you all for sticking with me during this. Don't worry, Holly. Next time we'll try it out on Instagram. I think they're a bit easier. I don't know what's wrong with Facebook, to be honest. Celie has asked me on Instagram, how did you cope with the anxiety of everybody reading your work? And I didn't. I don't know if you've got anxiety, and if you put stuff out there in the world, it's horrible. I nearly cancelled this book so many times. I'd go through like stages of like, I hate the book, everything is so bad in it. But I didn't, and I'm still terrified of people reading it. But I mean, I've had beta readers, and I know I've had comments back, I've had reviews from them. So I'm getting there. If I start selling more books, that'll be great. And getting more reviews. I'm terrified of the reviews, don't get me wrong, but who knew being an author would be so stressful? Does anybody have any other questions? I'm talking really fast, I'm so sorry. Do I think self-publishing is less pressure? No. I think because even though I do have control in everything, I've got to fund it myself. So you've got to pay for your copy editing, you've got proofreading, developmental editing if you're doing that as well, and then you cover formatting, you've got to do all this stuff, and then you've got other people's timelines, and then on top of that, you've got all the marketing as well, which is a lot of pressure because I really don't like putting myself out there that much, even though I am doing that right now. So trying to then find different ways to promote yourself, promote your book. So at the moment, I'm sending my book out to a few different reviewers, and hopefully they'll promote it for me. But that's the biggest pressure, I think, trying to promote it. And I know that if you've traditionally published, then a lot of that, the publishers, and you've got a publicist, and they help you. You still have to put yourself out there, but it's not all on you. Do I listen to music when writing? Yes, I do. For the most part, I listen to dance music, so stuff like Kesha and oh, 1 second, I've got a message. So stuff like Kesha, I've got Bonnie Tyler on there, Holding Out for a Hero, Clarity, just anything with a really good beat, because I need to type to the beat. And then if I'm writing a really dramatic scene or something, I'll put on, say, the Hunger Games instrumental soundtrack, or The Day After Tomorrow. That's got a really good soundtrack. Requiem for a Dream as well is really good to write dramatic scenes too. But yeah, mostly dance music, because then the lyrics don't go into the writing. I've tried to write to Taylor Swift before, and then I don't know if anything stayed in the book, but I have written stuff based on her lyrics, which is, it's not the best. She's a better writer than I am, clearly. Do I have more questions on Instagram? Seeley has asked, how did I choose a printer for my book? I chose KDP just for the ease. As I'm a first time author, a lot of the stuff for KDP makes it just a bit easier. So you just have to upload the manuscript, upload your cover, set your price and everything, and then it's done. I know there are other websites you can use, like Ingram Spark and Draft to Digital, and I might use that for one of my next series. But Trials of the Realm is staying on KDP for now. And I might also go wide with that. I don't know. I'd love to see it in Waterstones, for instance. Does anybody else have any other questions? I've got an entire 5 viewers. I'm such a popular author right now, clearly. I mean, it is noon on Friday, so that's fine. If you haven't seen my book already, oh, here she is. Trials of the Realm. The cover design is by Connie May. She's not on Facebook or Instagram. She's currently on a social media break. She's on Twitter, and she tweets about the Wallows and Taylor Swift on there. She did my book. She did her own book as well, and she helped with my PDF for the paperback too. Does anybody else have any other questions? I can't tell who's actually watching anymore. Oh, bring Amy on camera. No, sorry, Amy. Nearly did then. Don't really know what else to talk about. What's your guys' favourite books? I have many favourite books. I bought a trolley for all my unread books, and I've still not read any of them. I'm sure my book is going to go on some people's trolleys as well. Thank you, Holly, for also taking the time to try and work this out, even though it hasn't worked. Next time it'll work. We'll figure it out. Oh, Zoe just popped in. Where do you get your inspiration for character names? So I've been for Adelaide. I'm obsessed with the actress Adelaide Kane. I really like that name. So she inspired Adelaide's name. But I've also like got this theme of my main characters all beginning with the letter A. So I've got Adelaide in this book. I've got Althea in Light Worlds. In the next book series I'm writing, I've got Aria. In the short story about my nan, I renamed her April. I've got Alice in another short story, and I'm working on a fantasy series as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to name her something beginning with A. Different friends inspire some names. Isaac, I think I got that name from Teen Wolf, if I'm being honest. He was born that way, and there's just multiple different things. I was like looking at different cultures and names from everywhere as well. And some of the characters have come from Light Worlds and into this book, so they'll have to be replaced when I do Light Worlds. Amy asked, do you think you'll ever sell your books in store? Is it easy to sell them just online? I would love to sell them in store. I'm going to see how Trials of the Realm does on Amazon, and if sales pick up, then I might do it wide, and then it's a really annoying process to try and get it in Waterstones, but I'm going to have a look at some indie bookshops in the UK as well. Do I have any plans for merchandise? I do. My mum has a business. It's called Into the Heidi Craft Unknown, and she is making me some mugs with I Survived the Trials on, and some t-shirts with I Survived the Trials on. I'm really looking forward to those. I really want that t-shirt. If I just wear that t-shirt everywhere, I can just advertise my book without having to take the book with me everywhere. And maybe some other stuff. I know Zoe, my friend, she's an artist. She was designing some characters for me for her portfolio. So I'm going to ask her. She's here, so I'm asking her now to do some artwork for me to sell on Etsy. She will get credit as well. She's also going to be doing my audiobook. She's a very well-rounded woman, is Zoe. Zoe has asked us to tell us more about Light Worlds. There's not much to tell at the moment. I am still going to write it. Obviously, the plot has changed. I'm going to do it as a spin-off from Trials of the Realm, though, so some stuff is going to happen in book 3, and then I'm not going to spoil anything, but then Light Worlds is going to come about. It's going to be like 100 years after, though, which will be interesting, because it means I get to design an entirely new UK. Alex has written, are you going to main one series and genre or dabble in various? I don't know what that means, Alex. Please rewrite your question. Did one of your children have hold of your phone while you were trying to write? Thank you, Zoe. That was really helpful. We will discuss it when we finally have our business meeting at Wetherspoons. I'm free today, this evening, by the way, if you want to go. I'm still trying to figure out what Alex's question means. Are you going to main one series or genre or dabble in various? I think he means, am I going to stick in one? So you're going to stick to dystopian fantasy, or is there going to be some? Okay, so dystopian is generally sci-fi, so it's science fiction still. I am at the moment I'm sticking with sci-fi for this. I've got this series, and then the next series I'm writing is sort of a day after tomorrow sort of series. So that's more sci-fi. I've got a fantasy series in the work. I do want to have a go at thrillers, but I mean, I'm okay at writing twists, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure to write twists. But dystopian is my favourite genre, so I'm doing Trials of the Realm. I've got Light Worlds planned, which is also like a virtual reality dystopian. I've got a dinosaur dystopian planned somewhere down the line, which is going to be fun. I can't wait for that one. Just all the different dinosaurs. I'm going to take artistic license, like most authors that write about dinosaurs do, and put whatever dinosaurs I want in. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to do an urban fantasy as well. Zoe has asked, who's your favourite character? Adelaide. She's in my head. I can't really avoid her being my favourite, unfortunately. Celeste as well. I love Celeste. Sorry. I feel like she's a really great, just a nice character to have, a nice friend to have. Will's also having her own flaws as well, so she's a great character. And I know I know a lot of people really love Celeste as well, which is great. You know, I love Celeste. I love Adelaide. I really hope everyone loves Adelaide as well because she is everything to me. Alex said Dinotopia. No, it's not going to be like Dinotopia. Um, sort of. I'm just with like how dinosaurs went extinct somehow through climate change and everything. Dinosaurs are going to come back. There is no actual science in this. I'm making up the science because I am not a scientist. I've asked my scientist friend if it's possible, and he said probably not. And it probably also wouldn't happen in the UK because the climate is too cold. Ooh. I accidentally left alive. Oh dear. Hello. Thank you for attending my live again. I don't know what happened then. I think I went to reply to a friend request for Holly at the same time. Hello, Shan. As trying to do live. Thank you all for coming back, though. We just let Holly know. Unless she is already here. Thank you again. Shan, I didn't see you last time, or did I? But you and Zoe have such similar photos because you're both in the photos. It's very confusing when all I can see is your icon. I wish I could introduce Connie. I wish she was on here because she's such a good artist. Will Maisie make a cameo in one of your books? I've got this thing about animals in books, and I hate it when animals are in books because I'm constantly terrified that they're going to die. Again, Lindsay Pogue, who is a great writer, her and Lindsay Farley wrote after the ending, and they put horses in that book, and it was horrendous because I'm panicking about horses, and then the horses eventually did die, and it was a really traumatic experience for me. So I don't think I'm ever going to put animals in my books, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to put Maisie in a book now. I just can't deal with because there's so much happening in the books, and it's always like a disaster. It's always traumatic. I'm not going to, if I decide to write a contemporary romance, then maybe. No, please never ever say that again, Zoe. Maisie is fictional. She will just be dead. No, she's not fictional. She's non-fiction, and my books will just be dedicated to her. She's been climbing all over this chair actually before the live, and then suddenly she's disappeared. I don't think she wants to talk to anyone. I'm sorry. Oh dear. Hopefully we're gonna get Holly on now. She sent me a friend request. I think she. Oh, you want a Maisie autobiography? Okay. Okay. I don't really think there's much I can write about Maisie, to be honest, Zoe, because all she does is sleep and poo and meow in my ear at 5 a.m. and scratch the back of my head. And she gives me cuddles, which is nice. But I'm not sure that's. I think that's like a 5-page biography. Who would pay for that? I could do a children's book about Maisie, maybe. That might be good. Living the life. She's got a dislocated knee. So we could write about how life is as a cat with a dislocated knee. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh god. I did think about writing a children's book for my nieces and nephews at some point. Yes, you can illustrate it, but you have to do Maisie like real though. She's got some little white bits behind her ears at the moment now because she's getting old. Oh yeah, I mean Elliot would probably love my book, my children's book. Okay, 1 second. I'll do her justice, will you? What ideas did you have about the children's book? I'd honestly never thought about a children's book until Zoe's just said that about Maisie. I'd love to write a middle grade book, sort of like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, which would be fun. But at the moment, I think I'm just thinking of a new adult. If I write a book about Maisie, it'll be her adventures around the house, what she does at night. Um, what she does whilst I'm not at work. While I'm at work, well, not at work. As far as I know, she sleeps on my pillow and then comes running to the door when I get home, which is really lovely. Honestly, I wouldn't even know where to start with a children's book. I know because there's different age ranges as well. So maybe just a picture book would be nice. If Zoe illustrates it for me, she can illustrate it and I'll write it. That might be easier. We did originally say we were going to write a comic together. That's not happened. That might have been one of our drunken rumbles, though. Does anybody else have any more questions for me? I don't know what just happened to my voice. Oh, okay. We can do a comic. I want to know about how we'd publish it though. What books did you read as a teenager? Okay, this is really bad because as much as I am a reader now, it took me a while to get into. I read a lot as a child. If you remember the Chip and Biff books, I loved those as a child. So when I was a teenager, I really liked the Mates, Dates and Inflatable Bras and the Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging books. They were really great. And then finally I found Twilight, which, shaped my entire reading experience. And then House of Night, which is also a vampire series. And then just from there, it just expanded and expanded. And then I found dystopia. So it's gone from vampires to dystopia to fantasy, because I read a lot of books, a lot of young adult books when I was 19. So like Vampire Diaries, Vampire Academy, Hunger Games, not Trials of the Realm, that's my book. The Maze Runner and stuff like that. Amy asked, how long have you been working on the first book? I started writing, so I had to write 13,000 words for my dissertation last year. So I wrote those in August of last year. It took me ages to start writing it. And then I wrote the first draft I think I wrote about 55,000 words in October. Then I spent a month editing it before sending it off to Holly, and then I did another month or two editing it in January and February, and I sent it out to my beta readers in March. So overall it was about 6-7 months. And then I didn't really know what to do with it. In July I decided I was going to self-publish it because I've been querying since March and nothing was really happening with that. It's a very short time to query, though. A lot of people will query for a year or over a year until they find an agent. And I just need the Trials of the Realm to be out. Frankie says, if your book had a soundtrack / theme song, what would it be? Do you know what? I've actually got a Spotify playlist for it. Let me see what the first song on there is. I think The Day After Tomorrow, the soundtrack is on there as well. Typically. Trials of the Realm. So we've got songs like All I Need by Within Temptation, The Beginning and the End by Claire J, Demons by Hayley Kiyoko. Great song if you haven't heard it. How Far I'll Go from Moana, I think, is a really great soundtrack for my book, to be honest. It's got the same sort of themes. Make Me Wanna Die by The Pretty Reckless. Just stuff like that. If you are interested in listening to the Trials of the Realm soundtrack, I will share it with you. By accident, I have started playing it. Shan has asked, who do you think would play Adelaide in a film adaptation? You mean other than Adelaide Kane, who I would love to be in a film about Trials of the Realm? Honestly, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of a British actress who's in her 20s, and I can't think of an actress I like. Who would you all suggest would play Adelaide? Other than Adelaide Kane? My beauty, my love. No, I'm really bad at British actresses. I know Australian actresses, I know Americans. Zoe, I'm really sorry, but you're a bit too short to play Adelaide. And do you have blue-grey eyes? You can't wear contacts. She's got to be authentically blue-grey. Although Adelaide Kane does have brown eyes, actually, saying that. Jodie Corner could. Corner. Call me like a curry. Coma. I don't know. She could, yeah. With her Liverpool accent, she'd have to put on a Yorkshire accent, though. I have been debating whether to instruct Zoe to keep her Yorkshire accent when she's doing my audiobook, actually, as well. She is quite broad Yorkshire, though, when she wants to be. And I'm not sure Adelaide is that Yorkshire. Yeah, no, I have no idea either. Can I play a bad guy? Do you want to play Brett, Zoe? There isn't a bad girl in book 1, really. But book 2, there is going to be I'm adding more players to the game. And then book 3, there is a big character in that you can actually play. I might actually save Amy for book 3 because I'm really looking forward to that one. Kat has asked, hey, just nipping on my lunch, which Taylor Swift song do you associate most with your book? Can we not? Because there's so many. I'll just there's different scenes. So right where you left me there's a scene with James. Also, Mr. Perfectly Fine is his soundtrack for book 2. If you haven't heard that, you should listen to it. Safe and Sound, obviously, it's the Hunger Games. This is like the Hunger Games. I'm just thinking about Folklore and Evermore now. 7 is quite a good soundtrack because she was safe when she was 7. Now she's not when she's 23. Right. This is just turning into a Taylor Swift Trials Around live chat now. You want Amy to be a villain? Oh. I mean, so far, I've got 2 villains in book 2. One's a man and one's a woman. The woman's already got a name, and the man's already got his name. Maybe I could have another one in book 3. I'm just trying to think of who she could be. Book 3 is a while away, because I do need to get book 2 written first. I could do a Stephanie Meyer and write book 3 before book 2. She wrote Eclipse before she wrote New Moon. And, clearly all my inspiration is actually Stephanie Meyer and Twilight. Obviously. This is what my books are becoming, because there's Isaac Webb is named after Catherine Webb, clearly, as well. Everyone's just got their own character in my books. So I'm gonna have to save some of your names for the other book series, otherwise I'm gonna run out of names. My website history is ridiculous because it's just baby names and ways to kill people, which is really fun. One of the best things I found about writing book 1 was the different ways of killing people and Googling what would happen in certain scenarios. Again, I'm not going to spoil the book, but there's a scene where the 3rd character dies, and I really, really went out of my way to search what would happen. Thank you, Amy. We'll have to meet up soon, and I will show you your character, who she's going to be. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? I wish I could have invited Holly onto this. Maybe we'll be able to do it on Instagram, because she's got a lot of experience in self-publishing. She is, like I said, my copy editor. She's not just mine. She did it for Lindsay Perry and other authors as well. She's been great. This coffee is cold now. Okay, so if nobody has any more questions, I don't know, I feel like there's a delay in the questions, so I'll give it another minute or so. And thank you to all my 8 viewers. I hope you've enjoyed this. Holly, we're going to have to do it on Instagram another time when we're both free. Maybe in the evening if you've got the time in the evening. Because I know it's basically all my friends that are watching it. Most of the people that like my page are my friends, to be honest. Or family members. Also, if anybody wants any merch, let me know. I'm going to set up an Etsy page at some point if the book takes off. Because I'm really looking forward to the I survived the trials t-shirts and the mugs. My mum has done a mock-up of a mug at the moment. Thank you, Frankie. She's done a mug and I really like it. She's put my autograph on it, but my autograph keeps changing every time I sign a book. So it's getting there. I think I'm going to make a TikTok after this. So if anyone has any advice on TikToks, that would be great because I'm really, really scared of it. You're welcome, Charmaine. So I'm going to end this live now. Thank you all for coming, and I'm really sorry, Holly, that everything didn't go as planned, but thank you for trying to host us. And I hope you all enjoy your day. I will be posting both of these on Facebook. I'm going to see if I can download them as well because I need to put them on Instagram. Yes. And maybe Twitter. But again, thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this chat. If you've got any more questions, you can send me a message. I might do another one of these at some point, as well as on Instagram with Polly. I'd love to do a live chat with Zoe as well. She's doing my audiobook, so that's a big process I don't know anything about. So I need to stop talking now. Anyway, bye!